Hey everyone, Josh Sachs here again with another episode of Local Pros. With me today, I have the third place finisher from the 2023 Foxwood Open and co-captain of Team Edge for the GTA Cup, Mr. Calvin Roorda.
Thanks so much for having me, Josh.
Hey Calvin. So, that third place at the Foxwood Open got you a spot at USDGC last year, did it not?
It did.
How was that experience?
Oh, it was fantastic. I drove down with Jake Kennedy, so that was a pretty awesome experience. I got to play a couple courses on the way there and back, which was fun. And then, of course, competing in the event was, a bit of a dream come true. Uh, Played very well. First 3 rounds, I was right in the mix. I mean, not winning, but I was holding my own for sure. Sitting around that even mark. And then the last round, I kind of hurt myself and decided not to throw any forehands, which was fine. Non-rated event and all. I just wanted to get out of there okay. My first 3 rounds had given me enough of a lead on Thomas and Casey that I finished as the top Canadian. So that was a cool thing for me to do. And hopefully can make it back there at some point.
You just got to take them down at Foxwood again this year, or maybe what the Diameter Open at Hope Coat, which I think you've also had some success at. But,
you can say that, yeah. So we'll see. Foxwood obviously plays well for a forehand player, so having a pretty strong forehand myself, I like my chances there. And Diameter, it's a big open hyzer fest, so whoever can do that and then stay clean in the wooded holes, I think has a good shot. We'll see how all the pros who are coming down, how many of them actually have their USDGC spots already, because those trickle down to the players that haven't got them. So yeah, we'll have to see kind of where that leaves us.
So how did you first get into disc golf? Because I think you only picked, from what I could see on the PGA site, you only picked that up about 4 years ago.
Yep. So I was a COVID starter, like many. I actually had played a couple times before COVID. I played Ultimate Frisbee. That's my Frisbee throwing background. I played for Toronto Juniors teams, as well as my university team, Guelph. And Guelph has a lovely course called the Arboretum, which was where I learned how to play. Picked it up during COVID, but we had gone out after every year during our Ultimate Frisbee rookie party. We included a round of disc golf as part of that. So we'd go out and have a beer and throw Frisbees in the park and have a good time. And at the time it was just that. And then it kind of grew and evolved. I know that for me, I actually started playing because I wanted to keep up my Ultimate Frisbee skills. So I'd go out and with an ultimate lid and be trying to throw, and then I'd be there and I'd watch 60 and 70-year-old guys out driving me, and I was like, well, this isn't right. So yeah, I got lucky. One of my ultimate friends was into disc golf at the time, so I asked him kind of for some tips and tricks and if he had any discs lying around. And he had just switched to MVP, so he gave me pretty much a stack of like 30 or 40 discs and said, go have it, have fun, and see what you like. And so I figured out a bunch of discs that I wanted, made an order for myself, gave most of them back, kept a couple of the really good ones. And that was that. And now 4 years later, here we are.
Have you played Ultimate since
Yeah,
you picked up
not
disc
seriously. I played 2 winter seasons worth since, so this year and last year. I played with university friends 2 years ago, and then my old high school team, we put a team together this year, and I ended up taking down the league, so that was quite fun.
Nice.
But yeah, no serious touring or anything of that
nature. You're done with the ultimate tour life. Now it's on to the disc golf tour life, maybe?
Something like that. It's a lot less expensive, and in pro you get a chance to make your money back, so that's a big difference in terms of cost, at least to start.
Anything you're working on with your game this off season?
No major changes. I've tweaks here and there. You always got to be practicing your putting. I know East End Putting League's been a little bit of a haven for me. I go there every week. So in terms of putting, that's where I'm working on that. And then a couple tweaks to my backhand. I'm specifically trying to get my right elbow up to try and hit that power pocket a little bit better and get more efficient drives, as well as a weakness in my game is my backhand turnover. I know that it's not really a surprise to me, but something that I've been trying to work on, as well as kind of a roller. Those kind of two shots go hand in hand, depending on the stability of the disc, of course. So.
Any chance you're enlisting Gavin for some of those overhand shots, just maybe as a scramble option?
No, you know what? It's not something I've enlisted, but playing with him, I get to see how they fly pretty well. And I actually, funnily enough, have an overhand ace of myself. The very first ace ever at P2 was a tomahawk ace by me. It was like the weekend after it got put in, and we went up with Jack to do his tournament that he's run a couple times. And we were just messing around, playing some fun rounds afterwards on the little course. And we were trying to get an ace, and of course the one that went in was the overhand silly ace on, I think, what was hole 14. I don't know what it still is now, but it's the one that plays along with the little shed on the right.
Oh, I know which hole you mean. Yeah, the interesting hole to do that on.
Yep, sure. Yeah, we were messing around for sure.
You don't do that ever. You never fool around a disc golf course after a tournament.
Dude, never fooled around once.
Do you have any goals that you're working on for 2024 aside from hopefully getting back to USDGC this year?
Yeah, I definitely do have goals. I mean, I wouldn't even say I would love to make it back to USDGC, of course, but we have so much good competition that I think it just comes down to who plays well that weekend, specifically at Foxwood. I know that's where a lot of the Canadian players are hoping to qualify. My biggest goal is really to win an event. It's not something I've done tons of. I have one current win on my resume, and it's a tie for last place with Gavin Cathy. Funny story, but we were the only two people in the division, and we tied for first place. My other goals, I want to continue to shoot a pretty tight average for rating, as well as to bump my rating higher. I'm not really particular about kind of what that number I end up getting to is, but I want to try and tighten my average so that my bad rounds are not nearly as bad. And then hopefully I still have some good rounds that are statistical anomalies. And then, my final goal is, and this is something I've been working on more in the off season than anything else, but is to run some events and give back to the Toronto community. I know it's something that you've done with the Ice Bowl, and that's something that I've been trying to do as well through T3. So that's one goal that I've already kind of worked on and tried to implement.
Anything kind of on the books, almost ready to be, to let the world know, or you're still kind of...
A couple things. So earlier this winter, actually, I ran a Glow event, the Glowmageddon, which was an MVP sponsored event, which is pretty awesome. I've been involved running the GTA Cup, which is a really fun tournament for the people in that. And then I'll be TDing Timmel this year, which is pretty exciting. So Timmel Silver specifically, as well as I'll be on the team for Timmel Gold. Of course, I want to play that event, so Kevin Sparkman's taking the reins on that one. I know that we have a date in mind for Timmel Silver, which is May 25th and 26th. So I don't know when this is going to come out, but hopefully registration's opening up sometime around then. And we'll be we're just waiting on a permit, so we'll be waiting. We'll be throwing everything out once we get that permit. And then Timmel Gold will release information as we have more.
Yeah, I've heard some rumblings that it's not looking like it's going to be on its usual Labor Day long weekend this year.
No, I think we're going to be moving it up into August or July. We're just trying to find a weekend where we can get that same party space for after the tournament.
Wonderful.
We're also going to be changing the name back to Toronto Island Open, which was run by Scott Jameson for a long time. Just because the name makes a little more sense and we're not bumping on any copyright infringement that way.
Makes perfect sense. So that's great hearing that you're moving on to that side of the game as well. It's great having a variety of TDs in this province for sure. Between Oz and what he does with ODSA and Kara and Jeff with Chainlink and Daryl with his with Foxwood and now Diameter.
Yep.
We've got a good slew of people that are running events, and hopefully it just means Ontario continue to grow and get better and better events moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, without further ado, we get to our rapid fire round.
Awesome.
Which you say you've prepared for, but I hope I've put a good one at the end as an add-on for you.
Sounds good.
Favorite disc?
Pull it up. This is lovely Bearheart Zone. Great run, Metallic Z, and signed by the man himself. I wasn't even planning on getting it signed, but I was just chatting with him and was like, pretty sure I have my disc in your bag. I really like it. Or your disc in my bag. And so got the man to sign him himself, and this saved me so many strokes on the field or on the course.
I can absolutely confirm that is a very used disc in your bag.
Yeah. Oh.
I was worried you were going to say it, one of your destroyers or fibers, and then I'd have to ask you which one.
Yeah, this destroyer is pretty cool. It's got
favorite person to play a casual round with?
Yeah, so it's hard to choose because there's so many awesome people that I get to play with in Toronto. I mean, we have such a pretty big player base here. So I could give a bunch of honorable mentions because there are a lot of those people, but I'll cut straight to the point. And my favorite person to play with is Aiden Hazlitt. He's unmatched in the razzing department. And as a doubles player, there is nobody I'd rather have in my opponent's ear than him. And he's also a fantastic player, so it's fun to watch him throw.
Favorite course that you've played so far in your career?
Yeah, there's lots. I've gotten the chance to play a bunch of awesome courses. Some honorable mentions, Moraine State Park in Pittsburgh, De La Viega, Nevins, Project 15, and of course the Island. But my number one course has to go to Hillcrest. I got the chance to play it for Nationals last year. 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, 2022. And it's incredible. I mean, I haven't been back since the windstorms swept through, but what an awesome course and property that is.
Unfortunately, I never made it out before the hurricane that came through after Nationals in 2022. I managed to get out there last year to play it and ended up playing with I played one round with Mindy and Rob, and I played a round with Cam, and they were all commenting on like how many trees have come down. It's changed the lines and everything. And
yeah, I mean, Mother Nature's going to get courses regardless of how you do, especially out in those eastern provinces where there's so many storms that come through off the Atlantic.
Bucket list course to get to.
Bucket list courses, I'll go with the classic of Maple Hill. Haven't gotten the chance to get out there, but it's definitely on the list. Close second goes to Smuggler's Notch, and they're kind of in line, so you could potentially do a trip of both and get them all knocked off on one weekend. But
I mean, that'd be a lot of driving on that weekend between the two. And
regardless, you get a week or however long it takes to do it, but you could make a trip of it for sure.
Oh yeah, that would be a fun trip. I would sign me up to join you on that trip with my noodle arm and not getting through any of those greens.
Yeah, there's lots of wooded holes on there, so distance isn't always everything.
For sure. Your dream foursome.
Dream foursome. So I thought a little bit about this because this is not an easy question. In South Carolina for USDGC, one of the coolest players I got to play with was Will Schustrick. Now, obviously, he's been dealing with a lot of injuries and family stuff, so he doesn't play as much. But he's an incredible personality and someone that I'd love to have played with while they were in their prime. We chatted a bunch about lots of things. He came down and took down Timmel, I think 2014. He beat Ricky Wysocki and Simon Lizotte and Kim Scott Wood all there. So one hell of a player. So he's the first one on my list. And then following along that theme, I wanted to play with some of the OGs of the sport. And some people I knew that were cool, and I kind of had slight interactions with that tournament. So I went with Paul Ulibarri. He's got tons of stories, lots of experience, and overall very funny guy. as well as Matty O. Again, one of the most, electric personalities out there. So definitely no dull moments on that card.
For sure not. So your favorite disc golf commentary team?
Oh, okay. Well, a couple to choose from there. I think I got to go with Philo. Philo, I know, and it's not a team, but he's doing so many different things on the live side as well as before he's done some commentary. He's done commentary on Timmel as well, I believe on the 2020 Timmel. So I'm going to go with him. I really like his style and his insight he brings to the game. I'll also give Brian Earhart a shout out. Definitely personality I like, and it's good to hear him on some of the live stuff because it can get kind of dry, and he's always a good throw too.
And favorite Paul on tour?
Favorite Paul on tour? It's got to be Macbeth. Everyone loves Paul Macbeth, and he's actually won things. I'm like, well, Ulibarri's won lots, but no majors. So waiting for that one.
Hey, he may not want to hear it, but he may have to turn Masters to start taking down the majors.
It's an option. I'm sure he'll push himself as far as he can in MPO before then.
Oh, for sure. And if you ever get the chance, look up his academy because he's done some wonderful lessons. He's got Yuli and Holland and now Jake Wolf on board.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I know he's known as one of the better teachers within disc golf, and I know he has so much free content even just on his YouTube. So
yeah, I find he's got a very good way of breaking stuff down, so it's easy to understand and learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Progress.
He's got so much experience around the game. Doesn't surprise me.
Anyways, thank you very much for your time, Calvin.
Absolutely, thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you out on the course this year. Hopefully, I get to make it out to Timmel Silver, assuming work and other events don't get in the way.
Yeah, we'd love to have as many people. We'll be running it as a 2-day single event, so 2 events separated. So 2 shotgun rounds each day. So hopefully that can accommodate more people, and we'd see lots of people out there.
Well, you have to promise that I won't get the day that it rains this year.
Yeah, I definitely can promise that right now. I talked to the people who are in charge of that. So
yeah, you know a guy who knows a guy.
I know a guy who knows a guy for sure.
Great to hear, Calvin. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, appreciate it, Josh.
Bye.